Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channels 270. The chairman of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has stressed the urgent need to embed entrepreneurship education into Nigeria's school curriculum. He made the call at the book presentation and professional investiture of Imam Professor Musa Adeyemi Olaofe in Abuja. Samuel Odi reports for Global Television.
The event, which attracted prominent figures from the public and private sector, highlighted the growing relevance of ethical entrepreneurship in national development. While delivering his goodwill message, the chairman, Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, noted that early exposure to entrepreneurial thinking would empower young people with practical skills, reduce unemployment, and foster innovation across sectors.
In order to accommodate this number of graduates who are increasing every year, the issue of entrepreneurship is extremely necessary. And entrepreneurship is backed by skills acquisition. But there is a mismatch between what people read in the university and the demand of the labor market. So unless that mismatch is corrected, then the issue of entrepreneurship will still be at the back seat.
The chairman of the occasion and chief of staff to the president, Femi Gbajami-Amila, commended the author for producing a work that bridges faith and commerce. He described the book as timely, noting that sustainable economic growth requires businesses that prioritize purpose alongside profits.
The reason why I forced myself to be here was because of the man who is the man of God. The man who inspired us spiritually.
The professional investiture of Imam Professor Musa Adeyemi was also a major highlight of the ceremony, with speakers praising his decades of scholarship, leadership, and contribution to Islamic education and socio-economic discourse in Nigeria. Musa, in his vote of thanks, thanked God for keeping him alive and also promised to continue his work to service of humanity.
We pray for peace in Nigeria. May Allah give us peace all the time. And once again, I thank you all. I appreciate every one of you.
The event concluded with a call for greater collaboration between educators, policymakers, and faith-based institutions to nurture a new generation of entrepreneurs grounded in ethics, innovation, and social responsibilities. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
Meantime, no fewer than 4,064 people are said to be lifted out of poverty through the Minister of State, Federal Capital Territory Mega Empowerment Program in Kano State. The initiative forms part of efforts to support President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda for national development. Global Television's correspondent Idris Jibrin reports from the flag of ceremony.
It was a colorful and welcoming atmosphere as the Minister of State for the Federal Capital Territory, Maria Bunkure, arrived to cheers from supporters across Kano State. Also in attendance was the former First Lady of Kano State, Professor Hafsat Abdullahi Ganduje, as the Minister officially flagged off the Mega Empowerment Program. The initiative is expected to benefit over 4,000 residents drawn from Kano's 3 senatorial districts. Items distributed include bags of rice, sewing and grinding machines, motorcycles, tricycles, wheelchairs, and even motor vehicles. The minister says the program is aimed at improving livelihoods and reducing poverty, in line with the renewed hope agenda for President Tinubu.
This program goes beyond the distribution of empowerment items. It is about restoring dignity, unlocking potentials, and reaffirming our collective responsibility to ensure that no son or daughter of Kano is left behind. I commend our party stakeholders across the 3 senatorial districts and the entire Kano state for the sacrifice, patience, and unity are the glue holding our party together.
Professor Hafsat Ganduje commended the minister's contributions to societal development, describing the empowerment initiative as timely and impactful. She also pressed President Tinubu's commitment to poverty eradication and inclusive growth. She added that continued support for beneficiaries would strengthen the federal government's poverty reduction drive, while also promoting grassroots development in Kano State.
We hope that you will utilize the items given to you in a proper way, whether it is foodstuff, motorcycles, or sewing machines. You should ensure that your family and your communities at large benefit.
The empowerment program will continue as part of broader efforts to improve economic opportunities and uplift vulnerable communities across the country. From Kano, Idris Jobrin, Global Television News.
Now, ahead of the February 21 Area Council elections in the Federal Capital Territory, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says it is fully committed to delivering a credible poll following a successful mock accreditation exercise across Abuja. INEC Chairman Professor Joash Amopiton has described the Bimodal Voters Accreditation System (BVAS) as a major boost to election integrity. Anita Patrick completes the story.
In preparation for the FCT Area Council elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission this Saturday conducted a mock accreditation exercise across several polling units in Abuja. The exercise, aimed at testing operational readiness, saw the INEC Chairman, Professor Joash Amopiton, led a high-powered delegation of national commissioners and the FCT Resident Electoral Commissioner to selected locations. These include NIPOS Area 10 Garki, Government Secondary School Wuse Zone 3, LEA Primary School Ushafa, and Gawari Primary School in Duse. Speaking during the tour, Professor Amopiton said the exercise was designed to fine-tune logistics and test the upgraded BVAS devices ahead of the actual polls.
We would like to use this mock accreditation and mock election to test the functionality of the BVAS itself, as well as the improvement that has been made on the BVAS. So far, I'm very satisfied that the BVAS has worked excellently well.
The INEC chairman expressed satisfaction with the speed and efficiency of the machines, noting that voter accreditation took 5 seconds or less. In one of these simulations, the system successfully blocked a repeat accreditation attempt, reinforcing its ability to prevent double voting. Beyond technology, the Commission also assessed the preparedness of its personnel inspecting the ongoing offices at Government Secondary School Area 10. INEC confirmed that non-sensitive materials have already been deployed to all area councils.
We try to just get somebody, because it's a form of simulating the election day scenario. So we've got somebody who has voted to come back and see whether the BVAS will allow him. But we all saw it, that the BVAS pop up immediately that this person has been accredited. So with this technology, there's no way you can be accredited twice.
Professor Amopiton urged FCT residents to take the elections seriously, stressing the importance of participation in grassroots governance. He also played down concerns over ongoing debates in the National Assembly regarding electronic transmission of results, advising against unnecessary tension while the legislative process continues. Anita Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
Vice President Kashim Shettima is in Kwara State, Ilorin, Kwara State, to condole with the government and people of the state over the deadly attack on Woro community in Kaima local government area, where dozens were killed and properties destroyed. Shettima was received at the airport by Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, top government officials, security chiefs, and party leaders alongside members of the National Assembly and state legislature. The visit comes amid heightened security operations and curfews in affected areas, with the governor describing the attack as genocidal and vowing that the perpetrators will be flushed out within 1 month. A coalition of civil society organizations in Osun State has urged President Bola Tinubu to declare a state of emergency in the state, citing the crisis over political control of local government areas involving the state government and the All Progressive Congress (APC). The call was, however, rejected by the Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke, who said the CSOs pushing for emergency rule have ulterior motives inimical to the progress of the state. In a statement signed on behalf of the coalition by the spokesperson for Community Advocacy and Initiative for Local Government Development, Kainsola Adebayo, the group accused Governor Ademola of continued brazen and disgraceful disregard for judgment of appeal and Supreme Court, particularly those recognizing the All Progressive Congress-led chairman and councillors as lawful administrators of local government in the state. Back in Abuja, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to developing a strategic and resilient road network across the FCT, saying the infrastructure push is driven by a directive from President Bola Tinubu. Wike gave the assurance during an inspection tour of key satellite towns, where he stressed that development must extend beyond the city center. Kabir Hassan reports.
The inspection tour took the FCT minister to Karu, Karshi, Apo, Buari, and Kubwa communities long considered outside the core of Abuja infrastructure expansion. Addressing journalists during the visit, Wike said the administration is deliberately focusing on satellite towns to ensure inclusive development across the territory. He cited Karu as a clear example, noting that all roads in the area have been reconstructed by an indigenous construction company.
Went to Karu. All the roads within Karu have been reconstructed, done by one of the very indigenous contractors at the farm. Very happy with the job we're doing.
The minister also addressed the long-delayed Apo Karshi route, describing it as a critical corridor that requires urgent intervention. According to him, the contract was rescinded and re-awarded to ensure speedy completion.
One very important road all of us do is the Apo Karshi road. That road was awarded in 2010. Because of the importance of that road, we couldn't wait to get any longer. The excuses of the contractor. I will have to seek the permission of Mr. President. I will get that job terminated. I was awarded to SCC. You can see how serious the company is. Happy that we have the opportunity to support Mr. President to achieve the hope agenda.
Another major project underway is the Buari-Kubwa Road, which we can describe as vital to economic growth, noting that additional link roads are also under construction across several satellite towns. He maintained that the project represents massive infrastructure development that will transform local communities. During the visit, the minister also addressed concern over refuse management along Orozo-Karshi Road, issuing a strong warning to those responsible for sanitation lapses. Wike warned that failure to meet performance standards could result in termination of appointments. On completion timelines, the minister assured residents that they will begin to feel the impact of the project within the year. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
Imo State Governor Senator Hope Uzodinma has commissioned the first phase of the Orashi injection substation, a 15 MVA 33/11 kV facility, describing the project as a significant step towards achieving reliable electricity supply and driving economic growth in the state. Our correspondent, Amarachi Ibe, reports.
Today, thank you.
The governor explained that the project, executed under the Light Up Imo initiative, represents a major shift from reliance on generators to a more sustainable power-driven economy. According to him, access to stable electricity will attract investment, create employment opportunities, and improve the living standard of residents across the state.
We gather here to witness a historic shift in our trajectory by providing an alternative and reliable power supply that will strengthen the power supply network, not only within our area, but in the 27 local governments of Imo State. We are moving from a generator-based economy to a productive power-driven one.
The Minister of Power, Engineer Adebayo Adelabo, commended the Imo State government for taking advantage of the opportunities created by the Electricity Act of 2023. He noted that ongoing reforms in the power sector have enabled states to play more active roles in improving electricity supply through decentralization and private sector participation.
I want to encourage other states across the Federation to take a cue from what is being done here in Imo State. I would describe Mr. Governor as the pathfinder. Yes, and I encourage others to follow his footsteps. He has done this to them free of charge without collecting the time. So what they need to do is to copy and paste.
Also speaking at the event, Dr. Mustafa Makon, technical partner at Makon Holdings, highlighted the collaboration between partners involved in the project, noting that the substation represents a commitment to sustainable and efficient power delivery in the state.
This substation represents more than a technical facility. It is a symbol of partnership and trust. It reflects the opportunity extended by His Excellency, the Governor of Imo State, to Matkur, to contribute its technical expertise, execution capabilities, and operational experience in serving the people of Imo State.
The event featured a symbolic switching on of electricity and the inspection of facility by the governor and other dignitaries. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
The Joint Health Sector Unions, JOHESU, has suspended its nationwide strike after 84 days, following a conciliation meeting with the federal government in Abuja. JOHESU says it took the decision after reviewing the terms of settlement reached with the government, allowing time for the implementation of agreed resolutions. The strike had paralyzed services in public hospitals nationwide, leaving patients stranded and triggering widespread concerns across the health sector. You're watching the live broadcast of the AM News. The AM News continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign, and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Hello and welcome. As the moist winds gradually shift northward, it's opening up opportunities for increased weather activities across parts of the central states. Areas such as Kogi, Kwara, Benue, and parts of the Federal Capital Territory may see some build-up later in the day, although the chances are fairly slim. Down south, there are prospects for isolated rain showers along the coastal areas, particularly over Cross River, some parts of Bayelsa and Delta states. These chances improve as we move into the evening hours, with higher likelihood of rainfall extending across the southeastern part of the country, as well as parts of Ogun, Ondo, and Osun states, including the coastal stretch. Meanwhile, the extreme northern region is expected to experience mostly sunny skies with stable conditions throughout the day. And that's the latest on the weather for now. Do join us again for more updates.
In business, in a renewed drive to strengthen Nigeria's business environment and corporate transparency, the Corporate Affairs Commission of Nigeria, CAC, says it is rolling out far-reaching reforms as it marks 35 years of service to the nation. The Registrar General of the Commission, Ishaq Magaji, made this known at a walk to commence the 35th anniversary of the Commission. Sam Melody has details.
The Corporate Affairs Commission has commenced activities to celebrate its 35th year anniversary, unveiling major reforms in digital operations, corporate governance, and staff welfare aimed at improving the ease of doing business in Nigeria. Speaking at the anniversary walk that flagged off the celebration, the Registrar General of the Commission, Hussaini Magaji, says the Commission has fully transitioned from manual processes to end digital registration platform with global best practices.
Before, CAC confined to one place in Garki office. Now he's global. We are the only agency end-to-end is digital. We provide services anywhere, anytime, and 24/7.
The Registrar General identified the Beneficial Ownership Register as a major milestone in promoting transparency and accountability in corporate ownership. He disclosed that over 400,000 companies were registered in 2025, while inactive and shell companies were removed from the Commission's database to sanitize the corporate space. On support for micro, small, and medium enterprise, Magaji said the CAC is in collaboration with Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, issued 250 free business registration certificates in 2025 to encourage business formalization.
This is one of our gestures and our intervention to MSMEs. In the year 2025, just last year, we gifted out 250 registration to MSMEs in Nigeria. Okay. And we made it to be consumed through SMEDAN. Okay. And SMEDAN being saddled with the responsibility to support businesses with training and a token as a support for the businesses. That's why we handed over the registration through them so that we create 250,000 registration instead of mere registration.
The Commission says the reforms reflect its commitment to efficiency, transparency, and national economic growth as it concentrates its mandate in Nigeria's corporate ecosystem. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
Central Bank of Nigeria has injected over 1.7 trillion naira into the banking system in the first week of February 2026 through repayment of maturing open market operations bill and other instruments. Data from the CBN say the liquidity inflow was driven mainly by maturities rather than new injections, even as the Apex Bank sustained its tight monetary stance to curb inflation and stabilize the naira. Now, despite large headline figures, analysts note that funding conditions remain tight due to high interest rates and cautious liquidity management by the banks. Still talking business, the federal government has approved the reopening of the Amia land border in Kebbi State for trans-border trade with strict security and compliance guidance. The Comptroller General of Customs, CG Adewale Adeniyi, announced. Adeniyi made the disclosure while responding to concerns raised by stakeholders, including exporters, transporters, and union traders during an interactive session in Kebbi State. He assured economic operators that the federal government was not indifferent to the hardship caused by prolonged border restrictions, noting that the issue had engaged high-level diplomatic, security, and customs authority across Nigeria and neighboring countries. On the foreign scene, Nigeria and China have reaffirmed their comprehensive strategic partnership and commitment to deeper cooperation, which they say will continue to positively impact the lives of ordinary Nigerians and Chinese alike. Officials from both countries made the declaration in Abuja at the 2026 Happy Chinese New Year Temple Fair, where they also marked the 55th anniversary of diplomatic relations between both countries. Speaking at the event held at the Chinese Cultural Center, the Director General and Global Liaison of Nigeria-China Strategic Partnership, Joseph Tegbe, says Nigeria remained firmly committed to the One China principle, describing it as the bedrock of their enduring friendship. He noted that over 5 decades of ties had evolved from cordial diplomacy into a robust partnership that directly impacts citizens in both countries. Now, at least 31 people have been killed and more than 160 injured after a suicide bomber struck a Friday mosque prayer in Pakistan's capital, Islamabad. Authorities say the attacker detonated an explosive device at the entrance of the mosque, prompting emergency responses and hospital alerts. The attack has been condemned globally, with investigators ongoing after Islamic State group ISIS claimed responsibility for the deadly attack. And now talking sports, Nigeria has officially flagged off its para-badminton campaign for the 2025 World Championships in Bahrain, with Olympic bronze medalist and two-time world number 2, Eniola Bolaji, spearheading the 3-athlete delegation. The championship, scheduled for February 8 to 14, will see Bolaji return to the international scene for the second time this year, following a commanding gold medal outing at Egypt International Championship in January. Her recent performances underline Nigeria's growing strength in para-badminton on the global stage. Joining Bolaji on the trip are Paris 2024 Paralympian Chigozie Jeremiah, who will compete in the men's SL4 category, and Chinyere Okoro, Nigeria's lone entrant into the women's SL4 event. The Director General of the National Sports Commission, Bukola Olokbade, reaffirmed the Commission's focus on inclusive sports development and sustained international exposure for Paralympic athletes. That's it on the AM News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now displaying on your screen using at Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Kasim, saying a very big thank you for watching.